Feeling wobbly? Take 10 snippets and call me in the morning. Welcome to Sobriety Snippets for Women Over 40, where we elevate that mindset and trade hangovers for higher consciousness, one powerful snippet at a time. I'm Becca Jacobson, and this is what we call a snippet. Welcome to Friday. We're going to round out a nice week here. The truth is, that's not rounding out the week. Tomorrow in Snippet Land, I'm publishing a sober living stroll over on YouTube, or you may be listening to me right now on YouTube. If you haven't checked out the strolls, gals, they're so much fun. I go for hikes with my dogs and I turn on my phone and we talk about this stuff. It's awesome. Women love the strolls. So if you haven't been over there, check it out. And that was a total sidebar. I didn't plan to go there, but what are you going to do, eh? Got to follow your heart. Gals, today I'm going to talk to you about fear, but from a completely different angle. Fear. What the hell does fear have to do with it? Well, it's huge, of course. Most of us are really afraid of alcohol-free living, even though we don't want to admit it. I certainly would not admit that. I'm educated. I'm independent. I'm a professional. I'm not afraid. Back off, babe. Don't call me a chicken. I'm not a chicken. I am not afraid. Oh, if only I could admit it. I definitely was afraid to live without alcohol because I didn't know how, for crying out loud. I did not know how. And not only that, but I had a completely untrained relationship with emotion. Did you hear that one? That was a good one. Let me say it again. We have an untrained relationship with emotion. Isn't that beautiful? That's really a huge part of what this boils down to. We don't know how to handle our emotions, not because we're idiots, not because we've drank too much, not because we're afraid. Why? Because nobody taught us how. I don't know about you, but my mom did not teach me what to do with difficult emotions. And of course, that's because she had no idea what to do with her own. I don't know, did yours? Right? I doubt it. I haven't met a single woman who said, my mother was amazing. She taught me. I mean, our mothers are amazing, but nobody taught them, and down the line it goes. We have a completely untrained relationship with emotion, and therefore we have to find a way to handle it. And we are very creative when it comes to this. Very creative. We consume information, we're scrolling, watching, reading, listening, drinking, eating, anything. Oh, moving. Moving's a good one. I just got to keep moving. If I just vacuum the floor enough times or shop enough or iron the sheets. Oh, I'm being a little bit facetious, but you get my point. If we keep moving fast enough, the fear won't catch up to us. But it's not fear, it's emotion we're running from. And I mean, how can we expect to stand still for emotion when we don't know what to do when we do that? All we do is stand there raw, naked, and open to these feelings that are completely overwhelming. So instead, we try to escape discomfort through stimulation. Not just alcohol. I'm not just talking about alcohol here. Information, too. So we're binge watching, over-consuming self-help, endless tips, constant podcasts. But the truth is, gals, that transformation requires staying with something long enough for it to actually enter the nervous system. When I decide I want to learn a particular strategy or a particular way of thinking or a particular philosophy, I stop listening to other philosophies. And I've told you this before. I do this. I'm very strict with myself on this because I do not want to surface dwell. And I talk about surface dwelling here. It's something I made up. I mean, I didn't make up the concept. I made up those words. And it simply means what I'm talking about here. Over-consuming information, gathering surface information, but never allowing anything to land deep in our nervous system where an actual change can take place. And I don't allow myself to do that anymore because I did it all my life. When we decide to dig deep into a concept or a philosophy or a way of being, that requires repetition. For 20 years, I was an adult educator. I taught English at a community college, and I'm here to tell you that adults have to hear information at least 7 times to get it. There's different studies have been done on this, so you'll hear different numbers, but it's definitely not less than 5. We just have to. It has nothing to do with your intelligence or your ability to learn. We have to hear it again. And when we are just binge watching something or listening to podcasts and another one and another one and another one on a different topic, we're not getting it. We're not. That's just entertainment. The snippets become entertainment. And I'm glad they're entertaining. I mean, yeah, I want that. But I also want it to settle in deep enough for you to experience change in your life. That's why I jokingly said in the beginning of this episode, take 10 snippets and call me in the morning. Here's an interesting thing. The truth is, gals, that if you were to binge the snippets, which lots of people have done, what happens is you'll start hearing the same ideas eventually starting to surface. You'll start to realize that I don't talk about that many things. I have a particular little list of ways I help women, ways I talk about this problem, and I talk about the same things from different angles and with different energy, different examples, different stories. But I don't have over 600 solutions to alcohol. You see, there are over 600 snippets out there in over 3 years that I've done. My husband will say, what the hell do you talk about? Oh my God. Because he does not listen to the show, and that's great. But I say to him, you have to realize I don't have 600 topics. I have a few very powerful ideas that need to be absorbed. Really, that's the simplest way I can think to put it. And so when I find something that I think this really appeals to me, I want to learn this. And I want to not just learn it, but experience it. I don't read or hear or listen to anything else until I'm done with that study. And by that, I mean anything, an opposing philosophy. Of course, I'll watch a movie or listen to music. It's not like I become a weird hermit listening only to a particular book over and over. I still live my life. I'm talking about not getting information from a million different sources that contradicts itself, because then you just get confused. It's like, I don't know what to believe. Women will often ask me, Becca, I know all that. I know all what you're saying. I heard you say it. Why do I still struggle? And the answer is because we've confused consuming information with integrating truth. It's not only about hearing the information 7 times or however many times it is, but it's also about practicing it, putting it to practice in our lives, finding out what's true for us and what's not. But we're afraid to stop moving, because underneath emotion, underneath all that doing is loneliness and regret and grief and trauma, anger, exhaustion, and disappointment. Those are powerful emotions, and we are not trained to manage them, and we are not trained to live with them. We don't know what to do with them. As I said at the beginning, we have an untrained relationship with emotion. Gals, that's what this journey is about. Emotional maturity, emotional sobriety, call it what you will, but that's where we have to be willing to go. And the funny thing about it is it's like a boogeyman. It's not as scary as it seems once we start doing it. You know what's interesting? On the show here, we did last year, now I think it's already been, we did David R. Hawkins' book, Letting Go. So we look at books together here on the show. We don't read the whole book, but we pull information out of it that will help us. And the letting go theory is an example of one of the theories that I studied intensely and practiced because I wanted to know if it was true before I started teaching it or even talking about it. Is this true? Does this work? And it does. It's very, very powerful. The interesting thing about letting go of emotions is it takes about 30 seconds for an emotion to pass when we stop and let ourselves feel it. 30 seconds. Oh my God, are you trying to tell me that I've been downing all that vodka because I wasn't ready to stand still for 30 seconds? Well, not quite. That's a little simplistic, but kind of, it's like, wait a minute here. What the hell? Are you kidding me? Being with our emotions sounds really scary, and it can be traumatic to turn and face the things that cause these emotions in us. But when we're properly guided and properly armed with the right strategies, it's totally doable. And it's beautiful to know that it takes all of about 30 seconds. It depends, of course. Depends on a lot of things. But for sure, it doesn't take long for an emotion to pass. It's really interesting. But just remember, gals, healing isn't like a lightning bolt. It's repetition, hearing the same truth enough times that one day your body finally believes it. And when we start embodying the truth, we start experiencing real change. It's very exciting. Instead, we keep throwing seeds onto the surface of our lives and wondering why nothing grows. But growth requires staying with something long enough for the roots to form. And when we've tried and failed, the nervous system doesn't even believe that something different is possible. But I'm here to tell you that it is. Thanks for spending another week here on the Snippets. Join me tomorrow for the strolls. The link to those is in the show notes. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back next time so I can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.